So, today on this here Guitar Dungeon, I am going to write and record an entire track using nothing but gear that I hate. So, I bet you at this point you're thinking to yourself, well, this should make for an interesting experiment, and I agree with you. Here is the inspiration behind this video. Apparently, the latest popular phrase for the younger generation to use in pop culture is "okay, boomer." And basically, it is a phrase that the younger generation, particularly millennials, use in response to the older generation, particularly the baby boomer crowd, when the baby boomers criticize and bitch and moan and all that kind of stuff about the way that the millennials do certain things. Me, I happen to be a member of Generation X, so I'm right in the middle of it, and I just kind of stand back and watch the whole thing go on from the sidelines, and of course egg it on as best as I can, because I think it's hilarious. So, that said, I have been known to make fun of a piece of gear or two that is well revered by the millennial crowd, i.e. the Fuzz Factory, i.e. the Metal Muff, and a lot of those people hate my guts for it. As a result, here lately, just over like the last month or so, seemingly, it's kind of come out of nowhere. The response that I keep getting on particularly the Fuzz Factory video is "okay, boomer." Why people can't take a joke and realize that there's nothing meant to be taken seriously in that video, I can't figure out. Anyway, so I decided that I would challenge myself and write and record a song using nothing but gear that I would not normally gravitate towards. So what have I chosen? Excellent question. If you have followed this channel for any length of time at all, you're probably well aware at this point that I hate fuzz pedals. Like, all of them. Like, all fuzz pedals. Like, all of them. That said, I have demoed a few of them here on my channel, and, but regardless, the number of fuzz pedals to choose from in this here studio are pretty scarce. So, anyway, long story short, without too much deliberation, because like I said, well, not that many of them around here, I settled on this one. This is going to be my bass tone. This is the TC Electronic Honeypot Fuzz. I think when I originally demoed this pedal a year or so ago, I think I had said in that video that it was a fuzz face clone, and I think I may have been mistaken. I think this is actually a Big Muff clone, because it's got the same sustained volume tone control. I don't know, fuzz face Big Muff. They're both fuzzes. Who cares? Regardless, that's what my bass tone is going to be throughout this pretty much this entire track. Now, for a lead tone, I figure we need to implement some kind of modulation, effecty, something or other, something to make that particular part of the song in the tone stand out from the rest of the guitar in the song. Something I typically do with most solos. So, for this one, another effect that I typically don't run and grab at with every opportunity that I get is the octave effect. So TC Electronic once again will get the nod with this one, and I'm going to use my TC Electronic Nether Octaver from the same series as the Honeypot. This is basically a clone of a Boss OC3. When I demoed this one actually kind of had some cool sounds to it, so I don't hate this one quite as much, but still it's a really, really weird kind of effect and not something that it's just not my favorite. For this track, I am envisioning some kind of clean-ish, kind of arpeggiated intro bridge, something or other. That tone's going to need an effect as well. Normally, I would grab a chorus or a reverb or something like that, but for this particular project, I am going to use my Seymour Duncan Shapeshifter tremolo pedal. And while the Shapeshifter is a great tremolo pedal, again, it's tremolo. What's a guy like me, an 80s, metal guy like me, gonna do with a tremolo pedal? none of us, I don't want to say none of us, but I can't think of any of the, anything that's ever inspired me that's had a ton of tremolo in it, real noticeable tremolo. So I'm going to use a tremolo effect on it for those parts of this particular song. For amp tones, I'm going to go the virtual route, and Amplitude. There's a preset in Amplitude called Vintage California, and that particular preset is basically, it seems to be kind of a model of an old 60s Fender Bassman, kind of a cranked up Fender Bassman or something. Not the cleanest thing in the world, but, comparatively speaking to everything else that we're using, it will certainly serve the purpose. And for a cab model, that's going to be, I'm going to just use a matching 212, open back 212. Again, both things that certainly nothing wrong with any of that type of gear, just not my thing, not what I would normally gravitate towards. I am going to cheat in one area, however, and that area is with the guitar. I am going to use my BC Rich Draco V for a couple of reasons. Number one, it hasn't made an appearance on my channel in a while, and number two, I am envisioning this particular song being tuned down in the neighborhood of drop W somewhere, and that's the only guitar that I have that's tuned that low. However, I am giving myself an out and including it in the gear that I hate category, because while I do enjoy this guitar, because of the body shape, it is a monumental size pain in the ass to sit down and record with. But I'm going to struggle through it. Finally, last but not least, for a bass tone. I don't have a bass tune that low, and I don't have a 5-string, which would be really handy right now. So instead, I am going to use my same BC Rich Draco V, and for an actual bass tone, I'm basically going to use the exact same guitar tone, but do some tweaking with either the Nether Octaver or another octave effect of some kind. And basically, I'm going to play bass on my guitar, for lack of a better solution to do so. But for our purposes here, it should work. So, at this particular point, I have not written or recorded a single thing. I have a couple of rough ideas in my head, and about what I want to do, and how I'm kind of sort of thinking this might come out in the end. I'm not sure. Basically, I'm just gonna sit down and start riffing and start writing and see what comes up. But I do want to first insert this disclaimer. This is not a video of, this is not meant to be a comedic video. This is not meant to be me poking fun at a particular group of guitar players or anything, or a particular type of gear or anything like that. I am actually going to put forth a serious, honest effort into writing something that, that I enjoy, and something that I would consider worthy of sharing with the world, on a serious level. So, you have my word, you are going to get my best effort with this. So, let's see what comes out of it. So what'd you think? I got to admit, I was actually very, very pleased with the final product. So much so that I actually sent that track to a couple of friends of mine to listen to, just to, basically hear their thoughts and, say, I was actually genuinely proud and excited for, for what the final product turned into. I'll say it. I like what I wrote quite a bit. However, this video was more about challenging yourselves, and in particular challenging myself, and digging deep to find inspiration in areas that we wouldn't normally find it. As far as the OK Boomer stuff, well, I admit I'm still not sold that, I'm not a convert by any means. None of this stuff is ever going to be anything that I ever gravitate towards naturally. I will say that I think I have completely disproven this OK Boomer stuff, because I think I have proven, at least to myself, that I can do it, and I can do it as well as anybody else. So, do with that what you will. Links to all of the gear used in this video will be down in the description. Also down in the description are various ways that you can support this channel, and links to places that you can do so should you choose to do so. Also, should you choose to do so, please consider hitting the subscribe button to this channel and the bell. Last but not least, what are your comments? What are your thoughts? What did you think? What did you think of this? What did you think of this experiment? What did you think of this? The final product that came out with, that came out of it, and are you inspired to do the same thing? I guess that's what we're trying to do here. So, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.